Welcome to official SL TV channel. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share my video and press the red button. Please help me to share my video.
Ladies and gentlemen, Ibrahim. Today is December 29th, 2024. I can read chapter 5 of Abbas Bundo's book because lately what I've been doing is reflecting a lot. We go for reflectors, Sierra Leoneans. There are times we give for allow yourself some space for understand exactly what is going on. But while I can read chapter 5 of this book, I also can point out the people in we suppose for resist Maada Bio today. We don't fail for make sure they don't do them. So I can read the chapter 5 of Abbas Bundo's book. Now listen attentively, okay? The role of civil society and the effect of non-recognition. And the reason why
This one that
when you look, when it says the effect of non-recognition, when it means say, we will not recognize a regime, a very powerful. What they like today, we see the APC, they go above and beyond for recognize Maada Bio. So where I can read this chapter, I'm sorry for my brother and sister them way. I'm not go too far past school. But I go try for explain. Also I will for explain for break and down. But I don't let for explain to you, then I know for read the chapter in itself for let people and get the clear message. So I got for take me time. But let's read for now.
So I don't know you
The role of civil society and the effect of non-recognition. Non-cooperation of civil society. Civil disobedience can be potent. Matter of fact, before I begin read this, I want to understand what Dr. Samuel Kamara do today, like today. We don't stand up and say he's going to defend democracy. We don't ask for the results, there is no results. They're not getting forgive we. But when I see Maada Bio, any henchman them, a bunch of gangsters, they continue for hang on to power. They continue for tribalized institutions. But Dr. Samuel Kamara put his foot down and stand firm and say, I'm not going to accept this. And we don't call on the international partners, then for them restore democracy and give the rightful winner of the June 24, 2023 elections, the presidency, whether Dr. Samuel Kamara and I winner. All right, with that being said, let's continue for it now. Civil disobedience can be a potent instrument for effecting peaceful political change. I don't know, listen, you know. Civil disobedience can be a potent instrument for effecting peaceful political change. It first emerged in Sierra Leone in 1996. So they forced them who get a real civil disobedience in 1996. Uda be in power. Maada Bio after he overthrew Strasser. Also, the NPRC military junta was showing reluctance to demit office and had to be pressured. Again, Uda be in charge leading up to the election. Maada Bio, 1996. Anybody show reluctance, you know, we hand over power. This now Abbas Bundo's book I read for now. This was done at two resounding national consultative conferences at the Bintumani Hotel Complex, where civil society asserted its moral weight I dey read over these parts back because I dey read them. I want let everybody listen attentively. The power of civil disobedience. When I see what the president, they call them imam, they call the pastor them, they call the sludge, they make dinner for them and everything. Because it weaken them. So they're not going to be civil disobedient. So they're not going to enact civil disobedience across the country. Because the only thing we can pull Maada Bio like how Dr. Samuel Kamara don't stand in ground. That's civil disobedience. Then do them back in 1996 against the same Maada Bio, which means it can work again this time. And it's going to work, and it work. Maada Bio Kumayanda, and it yanda. We don't care if they say that 2 years don't cancel the law left. No. Unconstitutionality and unconstitutionality. So I read this back from the top. And then I go stop for explain. I read them, let everybody understand and hear me clearly. Civil disobedience can be a potent instrument for effecting peaceful political change. It first emerged in Sierra Leone in 1996. The NPRC military junta was showing reluctance to demit office and had to be pressured. This was done at 2 resounding national consultative conferences at the Bintumani Hotel complex, where civil society asserted its moral weight. Today, where is Andrew Lavalide? Where is Ibrahim Tomide? Where is Abdul Fattah? These are the people. Witness this lady with name will be the Naim Marcela Samba replaced, Valnora Hedwin, all of these people. That back in the day there we get Zainab, Miss Zainab Bangura, and I tell you making your name, but I think in the United Nations somewhere now they woke. But they like it today where all the civil society organizations where they see the backsliding of our democracy, do not take a stand for civil disobedience. Okay. Like continue, like I say, I want for to stop and explain. The military junta, taking advantage of the war situation in the country, had launched a campaign for peace before elections in order to have the elections postponed. But the mood in the country did not support them. The people overwhelmingly opted for the enthronement of democracy. So Maada Bio, they go ahead and they go tell people and say they want peace before election. But at the end, the people do not agree. They say, no, we want to bring democracy back. We'll go ahead with this election, yeah. The peace will come. So let's continue now. The people overwhelmingly opted for the enthronement of democracy. So when in the course of the deliberations of the Bintumani conference, the junta sounded like not wanting to quit, civil society joined forces with the political parties to bring the matter to a head. It was a triumph for national dialogue as a powerful and effective arbiter in a beleaguered polity. So when the junta no be one for go, the civil society organization them partner with the political parties them. But what will I see today? Maada Bio, this time around, because it failed in 1996, when I see we perfect the craft for come now and compromise everybody, take to the APC as a political party, minus Dr. Samora Kamara, we not allow them. But the APC party compromised all the organizations them and bodies them for stop them. It compromised all of them. Civil society compromised them. Journalists they compromised them. Political parties they compromised them all. And I see how it perfect in craft from your experience back in 1996. I didn't read this for now because some people learn to Boku what's Boku talk no more now. I didn't look the country, I see people in the dance. You see APC politicians like then Kelfana Marari, they go get at people in a Kabbalah. Tribalism at the highest level because I work on a falaba, I speak talk Kuranko, pull people in a teeth for kind ladida, and then we salon people and just it's sad. I read this, when I share this, let people understand. Sometimes the boku talk, they make people get too much thing for listen to, then if for concentrate pan on. Because it's like messaging on WhatsApp don't become something where now listen to the next message back. Oh, this person don't pull, now listen this one, now listen this one, now listen this one. Alright. Let's continue now. I recap again, I go from the top now. The military junta, taking advantage of the war situation in the country, had launched a campaign for peace before elections in order to have the elections postponed. But the mood in the country did not support them. The people overwhelmingly opted for the enthronement of democracy. So when in the course of the deliberations of the Bintumani conference, the junta sounded like not wanting to quit, civil society joined forces with the political parties to bring the matter to a head. It was a triumph for national dialogue as a powerful and effective arbiter in a beleaguered polity. There was already this precedent when the military struck again in May 25, 1997. So now you see, what's about to do now in chapter 5? Now for explained during the different times then we'll go through challenges in our democracy when people are responsible. So civil society organizations, them as an example, political parties, them, the position we then take for bring sanity back and restore democracy. So first, I highlight what happened in 1996 when Maada Bio was the leader of the junta after the overthrow Strasser. Then now we can talk about the 1997 with Johnny Paul them. Of course, we all don't understand now. Say there a lot of we looking back if we know it, we know we for support Johnny Paul them. Or not be know the in-depth of everything where they happen. So we not be inclined for support Johnny Paul them. We not be no saying they kill soldiers and they target soldiers and they kill them. I mean, Comrade Koita explain all these things to now over the years. So now they can say the same thing again. They happened back in 1997. Civil disobedience will make the junta not get legitimacy, and at the same thing we talk about like right now, civil disobedience. Where be say, as I read down, I go see even civil servants them for stop for go work. Something you go for suffer, forget what you want. Life not become easy. If everybody stand down, we get the restoration of democracy. But I read waiting back up in 1997, other example of civil disobedience, how they help for restore democracy in a country. Listen here. There was already this precedent. So precedent meaning for waiting we happen in 1996, it repeats back now in 1997. So then we get example in 1997 for go back to. So for go back to the same book of civil, the same playbook of civil disobedience, where they be applying in 1996. He walk against Maada Bio. And now this don't happen back in 1997, what they can read. Civil disobedience, they apply them back and they walk. Okay. There was already this precedent when the military struck again on May 25, 1997, just 14 months after the NPRC had been ejected from office. So from the beginning, the coup was doomed. It also turned out to be one of the most brutal ever. Of course, they go on for talk about the looting that was rampant and this and that. All right. The environment for intervention by civil society thus existed. But the civilian population was rudderless, as those who could lead were the first to decamp to overseas destination. So in 1997, Abbas what do they say now? Of course, the civil society, they will still get the space for resist. Johnny Paul and, we all know we brother Ibrahim Basi Kamara. They did the right thing in 1997 because the SLPP will not say, in no man be don't come back. I know from where he overthrow 1967, 68, that coup against Shaka Stevens. When we go hibernate, so go see the Liberia, they between them Bush and Academy, and not show face back to 1996 we come back. From 1968, I think we allow them, he come back 1996 with Teacher Kaba. Can bring the Kamajodem, they want to take the Kamajodem for replace the military. The same thing where they happy, so they're like today right now. But Salon people don't pay attention. They depend la di da. They all they shoot and they show up. Salon for be dead quiet right now. Nobody know for the enjoyment. Nobody know for the dance. Nobody know for celebrate. Nothing. Not even Christmas or whatever the case is. Everybody stands still in that country. If you get a society where the people they're engaged civically, what you don't do for the past 5 years, people don't pay attention to them politics. So let's continue now. The environment for intervention by civil society thus existed, but the civilian population was rudderless. So basically, Abbas they say, they wanted before stand up with the people, all man don't run away. Now listen to them. Now listen to this. And those who could lead were the first to decamp to overseas destinations, including politicians, lawyers, doctors, judges, public servants, business executives, bankers, and administrators, to name a few. The Labour Congress was a noticeable exception. So after 1997, when Johnny Paul came take over, which was a very righteous takeover, because they get for protect themselves. We did like today, we soldier man them, we then say they not phone, they talk with woman them, they tell whatever. But we all don't talk about the mental health crisis that I continue because no soldier will see us. Just like I'll be a Johnny Paul them and this and that, then they go on them platform, they take interview. Then come they execute the mission because then they get for salvage the democracy and salvage with people. But what can happen in 1997, by the time Johnny Paul take over, civil society organization and be there. But most of the people who for lead don't run away attending now. So you talk about the lawyers, doctors, judges, public servants, business executives, bankers, administrators. Why I point this out now? Because let people understand, say, every one of these people what they call so get a responsibility for stand up and defend democracy. But why didn't they do them? Now because again, not the same thing. Anything happen to them alone. I tell you, they make up some other rich Tanzania, some other rich Ghana. But they need to stand up for defend democracy and say, hey, listen, we no one get fair, we save in a situation, we'll go for the run away, for run and go hide. But then we're 1997, by the time Johnny Paul make pow, they all run. All man don't decamp for go overseas. Now yeah, but to explain that. So politicians they now, lawyers doctors judges public servants businessmen them banker them the administrator them all man don't go. But who that be there? It's in at the Labour Congress. So today, with the Labour Congress, Maada Bio, because say it failed in 1996 for compromise them, this time from where it came 2018, then work on that seriously for destroy every institution we for protect democracy. They infiltrate them all, they compromise them all, they like today, they want them all way for stand up. Leading up to the rigging of these elections, the June 24, 2023 elections, they not stand up. But I continue for read. The Labour Congress was a noticeable exception, an amalgam of 21 affiliate labor unions. You see, so about 21 affiliations, 21 different labor unions, them all come together at 10 day in 1997 for resist Johnny Paul them and Ibrahim Kamara them, right? We will not say Ibrahim Kamara they not deserve for this certain day because they don't release all the rebel them, they release all the Kamajo them, but then left Ibrahim Kamara in the when are the righteous people and we actually stand up for Sierra Leone attendee. But APC as a political party and as Kurumar and Sidom, then they release all them Kamajo, they will be the eat people them. But then left Ibrahim Kamara and Tetiri at the ICC, then they are caught in a jail, they rot in a jail. All left aside there. A conversation for another day. APC party has never been a serious political party. Look Kelfala Mara. They go gather people and go dance. Look Cherry Kokore, go to McKinney and they go play football. APC has never been a serious political party, but I don't blame them. Now the people who on time for sensitized over the years, they fall for this nonsense. Salomon able enjoyment. Salomon not to serious people them. Una we serious for themselves. The one they're not serious then sabi themselves. And they will continue for suffer like I say. But we continue for create this level of awareness, sensitization, and bring on the facts. We didn't make up anything. We didn't make up story. This is what I read so now from Abbas Bundu. When I all see after I begin read Abbas Bundu in book, I make it decide for common parliament. Because I know say get conscience. And in picking them in family members and tell and say, pa you document here boku That you can become, you go participate by this kind of thing again, we happen. And we know the bad thing the way Abbas Bundu sit and we accept that parliament, they removing 10 members of parliament, all kinds of things. But they like it, they don't come out because they realize, somebody called me attention. Let's do the right thing. And we want to do the right thing. When I see Maada Bio gets rid of him, let's continue for read. Where the labor union in today, right? The Labour Congress was a noticeable exception, an amalgam of 28 affiliate labor unions. Its relationship with the junta was anything but friendly. The labor union did not take easy with Maada Bio in 1996 and in 1997. They not take easy at all. They were very hard on Johnny Paul in 1997. Public sector employees withheld their services when fear gave way to stunning defiance and non-cooperation. Public sector employees, them, everybody standing ground. They don't go walk. They're standing ground. In defiance. They say, because I think the education, people don't get education enough to understand, say the junta, Johnny Paul, them were doing the right thing. Backed by their respective unions, they ignored orders to return to work. Let's read this top again from the top. Let's take out from the top without explaining anything. I don't understand. The Labour Congress was a noticeable exception. An amalgam is basically amalgamation, where you bring different people and come together. You amalgamate together people and all come together for a common cause. An amalgam of 21 affiliate labor unions. Its relationship with the junta was anything but friendly. Public sector employees withheld their services when fear gave way to stunning defiance and non-cooperation. Backed by their respective unions, they ignored orders to return to work. The teachers were particularly outstanding as most schools remained closed throughout the interregnum. The Labour Congress advised its members to stay at home using the state of insecurity and the non-payment of salaries to good effect. Not the same thing that is so like today. But the labor union, them, including teachers, civil servants, them all, in defiance, they say we want to go work. They say because of insecurity. Waiting for make labor union them now, teacher them now, not do the same thing. Why schools are not for close and shut down? Let Maada Bio hand over power to the possible win the elections of the June 24, 2023 elections. When I Dr. Samora Kamara. But when I see Maada Bio, because you understand, say, hey, 1996, I'll not be doing enough for compromise all of these pressure groups them. So it go ahead this time, it destabilize the all, compromise the all. They get what you want, but we cannot allow it to happen. And I hope people could listen this, teachers them, then union them, labor unions across the country, go stand up and say, you know what, let us restore the democracy in Sierra Leone. It is the right thing to do. Let's continue. The Labour Congress advised its members to stay at home, using the state of insecurity and the non-payment of salaries to good effect. And then see any pay people in salary today. Police not get paid, teachers not get paid, but then continue for go work. Why? When if people in standing ground, everybody decides, say, we're going to stay home, nobody ready to go work. They want to go work, let them tribalize it. But if you go work where? They una sidom na also go see the effect, beginning from the members of parliament. Now, make they talk member of parliament, say this, that. They're not for even there parliament in the first place. So me not even get a conversation with anybody. But some people they not listen, when they pay attention. Waiting and got to do so, and they fit for legitimize the parliament. They will contribute to the conversation for begin ask question. And when I deny their way vote, I don't even give a shit about if that they all be vote. What I care about, they're not even there at the parliament. Because again, the party win the election. After the tripartite, it is very clear the APC position say 71% of the RRF forms them show say Dr. Samora Kamara win. Who started to get these rerun elections? Recently, people don't ask for the results. Alfred Peter Conte, they all come join with. They ask for the results. Take today, ECS cannot pull the results. So nobody know for in a parliament, nobody know for in a council. That's why they resist. Non-compliance, that's why they resist. Non-recognition, that's why they resist. Therefore, cease for recognize the Maada Bio administration because they no say not to a legal government. If everybody come together from the parliaments, the council, the teacher union, them, labor unions, them, everybody, civil servants, them, everybody come together in defiance. Stop for go work, stop for go to school, stop for. You could see Maada Bio would hand over power. It worked 1996, it worked 1997, and it will work anytime that I continue for it. The Labour Congress advised its members to stay at home using the state of insecurity and the non-payment of salaries to good effect. Even when salaries were paid, it still rejected overtures from the junta that its members return to work. So even when Johnny Paul let me try for pay salary, the Labour Congress then still in defiance telling people enough for go work. Instead, it presented a 10-point plan calling on the junta inter alia to restore democracy and work toward a negotiated settlement. You see, effective Labour Congress at the time, they reject even where Ibrahim Bazikama and Johnny Paul and telling them, can't pay una. They still reject. Matter of fact, they come up with a 10-point plan calling on the junta, to restore democracy. But how will not do the same? For we ask and demand Maada Bio for restore democracy. Democracy is the power of the people, for the people, and by the people. So people then go vote, then win the elections. Let the people and vote decide whether they govern them. Not to few man them for come, or few woman them for can decide whether for govern them. APC won the elections. Dr. Samara Kamara win the election. When are we going to take a position? When all them body there, the labor unions, them, teachers, civil servants, them, nurses, them, all of these people go put everything down and say no, until this man hand over power, the democracy prevail. Who's standing good one? Now make us say, no, we could talk again on social media or WhatsApp. Hey. No, we have to be very strategic now. So if you're not hearing me, I go 1 month, 2 months, and not talk safe. Nothing to do me, not call for check or ask. If I sick, if I'm not well, I tell I say I'm not well, something all right, and this and that. I'm purposeful now. Now, which I get for beginning, now book I get for the right now. Would they write down these things now? Get for document them. When I go to see them. That is what we're going to start doing now. Not to talk again. Social media and WhatsApp particularly will remain the main tool for reach out to people like I do and so. But not to all take it for being now. Not to all time. Like very strategic now. Salon people will go for serious. For really listen to the next message. This one done, you move on to the next one. That is all we do. No action to be taken. We get good people, few, una sabi una safe, but the majority of the population still sick. And until we get all other people who can join, nothing is going to happen. The sufferation will continue. But I read this. Another factor that conduced civil disobedience was the very poor state of the economy. Now you see, what you go talk about salon economy today, a bad pass with Johnny Paul and Medina Power Safe. Now rest 90 so 1 point something million now for one bag rest 50 kilogram. So another factor will be conduce the civil disobedience. We give people a reason for disobey. Another factor. Now because of the very poor state of the economy. What's not going to say about salon economy? Now in teachers them, nurses, laborers them, civil servants them, able to come together and put an end to this with everything within in front of our eyes. You get the imams then, the pastors them, when they invite them for going to dinner, sludge, a group and dinner. At the time, this getting 2.5 billion as subvention, a bribe, a compromisation. So look at here, everything Abbas Mundo write down for we. We have something to go off. This book of Abbas Mundo alone, if Salon people are reader, we respect the views of Abbas Mundo. I swear to God, Salon will be a different country. That continue now. Another factor that conduced civil disobedience was the very poor state of the economy. Official revenue fell by 90%, while foreign aid, which before the coup accounted for upwards of 50% of the national budget, plummeted to zero. So you see, at a time where the money themselves where they come, we're supposed for come, but because of the coup, when the international partners then stop for fund, not all the same thing they happen right now today in Sierra Leone, then nobody for stand up and put an end to this nonsense. I hope so this message go reach you now and I go understand exactly what Dr. Abbas will write that his book. It work. Democracy and the people get there. Slash not all corrupt, but because we all sit on the down and they listen to one person as the president and the guide what una for do, then una all don't become corrupt. Teachers them, labor unions them, una all. Una individuals then we form up these conglomerates of the union they are. If una decide as individuals and say no, we're not go with a leader them because we are not correct and all right. That's what a God get effect. What you gonna do now? Lock una all? If you say no, go lock una all. We do them back in the junta days. If we do them to Johnny Paul, we not be deserve for do them to them. One of do them to Maada Bio, we deserve them 100%. It takes the election bonically. I continue for it now. Customs revenues also virtually dried up when the embargo, albeit illegal, began to bite. Well, of course, there was an embargo. Right now, not get embargo, but we don't see business not the flow of the country. Because they not declare, say, Sierra Leone put sanction pan Sierra Leone for the nothing not coming in and out. When I be Sierra Leone, pressure the junta them back because what you do, the people then stand up. If we not stand up like today, the same embargo when we put pan Johnny Paul and go put up Maada Bio. If the labor union them, the teachers them, the nurses them, civil servants them, wanna stop for go work. We're not go occupy on office space them. We're not go work, we're not go there. We're not go see where the pressure because again, this is peaceful means. We don't anybody go protest and go kill them, shoot them, and this and that. But when you not go work, you not go work. What you gonna do? Fire you? Yeah, it's okay, fire me. But if not all get one word, everybody sit on a house. So go on this day, not the last. It not go last. That is same thing that happens so now with Johnny Paul. When the people resist, the international partners and the international community go see say, hey, we'll all come to help the people. But so long, we didn't up and dance, we didn't la dida on Monday. How they go can help una? That make I don't talk and back say, I'm sorry, but to God in this day, that help, I get family now. But have people if you say, okay, put $50 more, $100, and that's it. Same for me. Yes, no, don't done. The country too sweet. I make people and sit down and fall and foot. But I hope so I read things like this, go wake up. It's now what happened in 97. I had a read so tona. Then how the embargo then sanction the junta, nothing of it coming because the people then stand up. Labor union then stand up, teachers then stand up, civil servant then stand up. Everybody stand up, nurses, everybody stand up. So the international partners then say, okay, well, this action will be taken. They'll stifle them. When I look around like today, by next month, just now we see the new year begin. All the taxes they don't go up. Rest get for dear more. Iron road get for dear. Everything get for dear. Because na pound no money they get for rely on. Because the international community don't stop to fund them. But una the people una they pan ladi no more. You get and show them the artists and they go perform here. We then don't they see them they fly car overseas, fly car America and get motor car and they live life. Una they take on a small 5,000 euros and go pay them for go. Oh, salon not serious yet. But they read this. When I share this with them, picking them, papa, mama, when I listen to this. Because Salon, when they believe in history, when they go back to history, when I listen now. Apart from the government-owned banks, like the Central Bank, the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, and the Sierra Leone Development Bank, no other bank opened for business. So even the banks then get the responsibility now. Apart from the National Bank, the way that the government they control them. But every other bank in Sierra Leone gets a responsibility for closed business. Stand down. So again, apart from the government-owned banks, like the Central Bank, the Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, and the Sierra Leone Development Bank, no other bank opened for business, despite repeated calls by the military regime for them to do so. The Association of Sierra Leone Commercial Banks predicted its cooperation on several preconditions, including the completion of repairs to the physical structures of the banks that had been damaged during the coup, the provision of adequate security, the replenishment of liquidity by the central bank, and the retrieval of vehicles commandeered by the coupists. The closure of the banks had resulted in a severe liquidity squeeze, virtually paralyzing the formal sector of the economy. In the manufacturing sector, The little that was being produced before the coup rapidly ground to a halt when shipment of raw materials and spare parts ceased. And I don't see how we want to take action, the effect where they get on everything, but only the people are get for stand up and do harm. And then the world will come and to rescue. The second time that civil disobedience made its mark was in January 1999. Now we don't come up from 1996 when Maada Bio be there. 1997, Johnny Paul. Now they come back to 1999. This Abbas Bono just show now how civil disobedience they make sure say democracy restored in that country there. Now any country. We no need for shoot, no need for kill nobody. Civil disobedience. The second time that civil disobedience made its mark was in January 1999. The unchallenged rebel attack on Freetown had resulted in substantial erosion of public confidence in the ability of the pro-government forces and the corresponding increase in public demand for a negotiated settlement. So, when President Kaba looked like dragging his heels over the issue, now you see, 1999, where we say the rebel in Kansai tongue, they don't even challenge them. So when President Kaba looked like dragging his heels over the issue, civil disobedience again asserted itself. That was reflected in the withholding of services by public servants, teachers, and students refusing to return to school, and the judicial system remaining dysfunctional. So 1999, when NC said Jean Kaba the dragging foot, look at that. So when President Kaba looked like dragging his heels over the issue, where the rebellion became, where the people don't get confidence in the government soldier again, because that's they don't scatter the government soldier. I remember now, in Ganomane, with Kamajo and with illegal militia. When Kabaris did getting food for take action, 97, the public servant them. This was reflected in the withholding of services by public servants. Public servants and stop for work. Teachers, them students, they refused to go to school, and the judicial system remained dysfunctional. The result was a lame administration throughout the country, including the capital. A former American ambassador has described the situation as one of the virtual collapse of government. Some people, we get what it take for stop Maada Bio today. If you know for anything, respect the votes of people. When I see civil disobedience, they work. Student them, then left for go school. Teachers them, left for go to school. Labor unions them, come together. On all, they come together. No system, stop for work. Everybody, banks them, stop for work. Everybody get the responsibility. Civil society organizations, take charge. It collapsed that government. Maada Bio thief the election. Everybody know. All man say, hey, thief the election. But don't move on. I start for life. We don't move on. The people vote, kill the people and vote. Let's continue. The situation also gave birth to a human rights committee in January 1999. Initially operating from Conakry, its membership consisted of a coalition of local and international human rights and humanitarian organizations, including the National Commission for Democracy and Human Rights, the National Forum for Human Rights, Médecins Sans Frontières, Oxfam, and Christian Aid. The committee mandated the Sierra Leonean members to take the lead in promoting demand for a peaceful resolution of the conflict. When I see the power of pressure from the people, they like it today. You know, a Human Rights Commission, all the violations, all the killings, you ever even get a position we didn't take. But all of these organizations, the enemy, become part of the Human Rights Committee. The Oxfam, the Christian Aid, all of these ones, them, for looking to human rights abuses. On March 2nd, The Article 19 organization called on the international community to support the demand for the active involvement of civil society in the search for peace. It particularly endorsed the call for the creation of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, as opined by Andrew Purifat, Executive Director of Article 19. So this was a document that was signed. But it demanded the active involvement of civil society organization them. See, they were the civil society organization them. There needs, so the executive director of Article 19, there needs to be an honest reckoning with the horrifying human rights abuses which have occurred in Sierra Leone. We welcome the Human Rights Committee's recognition of this and call upon the international community and the government of Sierra Leone to take on board recommendations from civil society. Every Sierra Leonean must feel that they have a choice, both in deciding what has gone wrong over the past decade and in rebuilding the country. Article 19 strongly urges the government to make public consultation an integral part of the peace process. So in recent times, we get the Agreement for National Unity. Also, we bond the tripartite, Article 3. We bond the tripartite. The tripartite, the recommendations come out. The APC make them very clear. Both convergent and divergent, APC say, can we win this election? Well, not necessarily, but we get 71% of the IRF forms where they should say Dr. Samakma lead and win the election. They ask for a rerun of the elections since ECSL they failed for produce the result. But these are the things we say. But non-recognition played a pivotal role in the decline and the collapse of 1996 Maada Bio, 1997 Johnny Paul, and 1999 Willie Rebellion Camp. Civil disobedience, non-participation of all the body them we in charge, we for fight for the people them. All the labor unions them, teachers them, civil servants them, school picking them, colleges, universities, banks them, all man shut them businesses down. What's wrong for us to take that same position right now? Now, I continue with other section here. By sovereign states other than the United, non-recognition of the military junta by sovereign states. Now, just like our Maada Bio, so nobody don't recognize them. ECOWAS, across the world, America, European Union, nobody don't recognize them. So let's read this side where they say non-recognition of the military junta. So this they replace non-recognition of Maada Bio's junta regime by sovereign states. The international rules governing the recognition of regimes born of unconstitutional procedures are less well settled than those relating to the recognition of new states. This is generally because the decision whether or not to recognize such regimes is essentially an exercise of prerogative power, often embedded in or driven by notions of public policy or national interest. Spheres in which the courts are rightly chary to intrude. It is thus beyond the pale of judicial review. Nonetheless, it is instructive to see what international practice has been. Anyways, that left this eye. I just want to point this part to let us see, and let us understand. Say every one of us get a responsibility to get the electoral justice what they seek for. We go vote, let we vote speak for itself. When the people pick a leader, let few people not come and can take and make a decision for the rest of the people. At that point, they say right now, when a non-recognition and civil disobedience, then go pull Maada Bio. Labor unions them, civil society activists, teachers, students, bankers them, civil servants, everybody gets a responsibility for down until now, look, get an end to this nonsense. Maada Bio no say for go, boy, they hold on because we not resist that yet. If we resist Maada Bio 1 month, I guarantee you now, January not done, Maada Bio go. If everybody do what they for do, civil servants them, schools, teachers, students, parents them, when I get the responsibility, all on picking out the university and schools, then I no go. When I go see if teacher go team up na class for go teach, we picking all the day. They ain't picking and go if that they want, but it gonna make a lot of impact, and the world go see una. And no Sierra Leone need help. Ibrahim, I left for now. Bye bye.